Welcome on board, guys. My name is Dan. I'm your pilot today. You can all hear me okay? Awesome.
Yep.
If you guys do want to have a chat to each other or ask any questions along the way, just make sure those microphones nice and close to your mouths. And you just have to talk loud enough to hear yourself in your own headset. That way everyone else can hear you as well. As we cross the coast here in a second, guys, we're going to have a few apostles on the left-hand side and a couple on the right. Apostle number 2 on the right here, the cone-shaped one with the pointed top. Number 1 with the green grassy top there next. Number 1 is the largest of all the apostles, and the last one that we'll see until we're coming back down the coast. All the features after number 1 here, guys, are not apostles technically. They all have their own names. We've got the twin sisters on the right there first. The salt and pepper shakers in the middle. The long skinny one behind with the jagged top, that's the razorback. And then Muddenbird Island next up on the right here, also with the green top. The largest island in Port Campbell National Park. That one's named after the thousands of muddenbirds that migrate there from Alaska every year. It's about a 30,000 kilometre round trip for those guys. Got the island of Baker's Oven up on the right there next. Looks a bit like a slice of cheesecake, I reckon. It's called Baker's Oven because the hole that runs through the middle there, which the sailors back in the day said resembled an oven. Kind of like a wood-fired pizza oven, I guess. Straight ahead here, guys. This is Sentinel Rock there. That's the tallest rock stack in the national park. About the same height as a 20-storey building. It's about 60 metres tall. Doesn't look that tall from up here, guys, but for a bit of reference, have a look at how tiny the cars are on the cliffs compared to the Great Ocean, compared to the cliffs. You guys in the back seat, there's a little camera just above my head here. I've got the inside camera on at the moment. You can give yourselves a wave if you like. You're up on the little screen up at the front here if you can see through. Nice one. And for you guys in the front seat, your camera's just there. G'day. Is this everyone's first time in a helicopter?
Yep.
First time? Yeah, cool. On the right there's the town of Port Campbell Township. It's a bit hard to see the whole town travelling in this direction, but on the way back we'll get a better look. Straight ahead of us there, guys, we have the arch sticking out from the cliffs. See the arch there? The only way to see the arch is from up here at the moment. The lookout's inaccessible, unfortunately. Coming around the corner here, guys, we've got the London Bridge coming into view on the right here. It's this little island that's out in front of the beach. There's the London Bridge on the right there, guys. Just the one archway there. There used to be a second archway connecting over the channel across to the mainland until 1990 when it collapsed. Coming up on the town of Peterborough up ahead here, guys. This is the last township on the coastal section of the Great Ocean Road, heading in this direction. The road then heads inland towards Warrnambool after. Nice golf course on the cliffs there. Lots of people playing today. Passing the Bay of Martyrs on the right here at the moment, guys. The Bay of Islands is straight up ahead there. It's made up of about 20 islands. Not as big as the Apostles, but there are more of them and grouped closer together. For that reason, I think it's the prettiest part along the coast here. Don't have a group of islands like this anywhere else. Really easy to see from up here the outline of where the coastline used to be as well. Seen amongst the islands there, eroded away over thousands of years. It's all limestone down here, which is quite brittle. The cliffs recede about 2 to 5 centimetres each year on average. It does make it the fastest eroding section of coastline in Australia. Alright guys, we're going to turn around up here, climbing up a little higher, make our way back down the coast. That's the Curtis River on the left there guys. Looks like a big lake, but it's actually a river system. There's normally a sandbar across the mouth, so it stays fresh water for most of the year, except when we get enough rain that it all releases out to the ocean. Just in front of the river mouth or the beach there is the Schomburg Reef. You can see the reef sticking out of the water. That was named after the ship, the Schomburg. Ran aground there back in 1855. Those guys were trying to beat the record of sailing from the UK around to Melbourne in under 60 days. Made it all this way only to run aground here. Would have been a day or two short, if that. This is called the Shipwreck Coast along here between Port Fairy and Cape Otway. Several hundred shipwrecks along here in the past. Definitely a dangerous stretch of coastline. Coming up on the left here is my favourite spot on the coast, guys, called the Grotto. You can see those few cars parked there. You walk down the pathway down a set of stairs to a big rock pool and a massive stone archway that you can look out through to the ocean. Really cool spot, definitely worth checking out the Grotto if you haven't been. It's the next turn off after the London Bridge. Heading west from Port Campbell, we've got the London Bridge up on the left here again. Up until 1990, when that second archway of the London Bridge joined across over to the mainland, you could walk all the way out to the end there. Two people had walked out to the end when the arch collapsed, so they were stuck on the island there for pretty much the whole day. They had to send a helicopter from Melbourne to come and rescue them. On the coast here on the left where those few patches of white water are, that's a spot called 2 Mile Bay down there. Known as one of the best spots in Australia to surf really big waves. We can get 9 to 10 metres waves there sometimes, which is pretty crazy. Up behind it, town of Port Campbell again. That was originally established as a whaling town back in the 1800s, where the whaling ships used to dock. Same with Port Fairy, which is a bit further down the coast to the west. We are very lucky to see a lot of whales from helicopters through the winter months. Mainly, we get the southern right whales and the humpbacks. They make their way up from Antarctica. It's about a 3,000 kilometre journey. The southern right whales have their calves along the coast here because the water is a bit warmer for them, and the humpbacks continue up the east and the west coast to the northern parts of Australia. Sentinel Rock up on the left there, guys. Just ahead of that is Horseshoe Cove. As we fly past, you'll see a little cave at the back of the horseshoe. That's home to one of the few colonies of penguins that we have along the coast here. Little fairy penguins. There's another large colony that live at the beach where the apostles are as well. They pick those spots to live because it's inaccessible by land. So no foxes or wild dogs or any other predators can get down into them, which is pretty smart. Spotted bird on up on the left here, guys. Looks like a big green seahorse or question mark, and then up behind it where the car park is, that's the Lockhart Gorge. That was named after the ship, the Lockhart, that ran aground into Mudabird Island here back in 1878. There are only a couple of survivors of that shipwreck. They washed up through the gap in the cliffs onto the beach. You'll be able to see there very soon. Really cool spot to go if you haven't been down to the Lockhart Gorge there as well. Definitely recommend checking it out. And we have all the apostles in front of us here again. From number 1, the big square one there with the green top, we count back to 7 down the end, the large one down next to the lookout. Those two features on the opposite side of the lookout not counted as part of the apostles. Those guys were left out. We did have one other apostle, guys, that collapsed back in 2005. There used to be just in between the tiny one and the big one. Here we go, guys. Nice view of all your apostles lined up in the row here. Okay, guys, thanks very much. Hope you all enjoyed the flight.
Thank you.
You can pop your headsets up on the hooks up behind you. The guys will help you out with the seatbelts and the doors.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your day.